Hey, my name is Alana and I am an exchange student currently in northern Sweden on Rotary Youth Exchange. So today I would like to talk to you about school while on exchange. So this is something that a lot of people are interested in knowing more about for their exchange. I think one of the things that people worry about is that school is going to be a negative part of exchange and that they're going to be stuck just doing work the whole year and not enjoying the new culture that they're in. And I would just like to emphasize that this is not the case. School is somewhere where you're going to meet some of your closest friends throughout the year, and getting involved with them at school is just such a nice way to start off, so then they can really get to know you and then show you around their hometown, because they're the locals and they're going to know it the best, so it's really great. It's not going to take up all your time. Don't feel like you're going to be in school and then you're going to come straight home and be doing homework all day. That's not how it's going to work out. Remember, you've always got public holidays, weekends, holidays, and if you're with Rotary, you've also got the trips that they organise for you. So you're always active and seeing new things, and even if it is in the classroom, you're going to learn about all these cool new cultural differences, which are actually really interesting. Also, you should never feel like this year abroad is going to set you back a year in schooling. In reality, I feel like it is something where you learn so much more about the real world, which you can't actually learn while sitting in a classroom. I'm not saying that what you learn at school is insignificant, but I would say what I learned here by just coming overseas to this whole new country is of equal value and definitely not a waste of time. Okay, so some of the questions that I've been given about school while on exchange. Firstly, about the subjects. So here in Sweden, I can't really say for all the other countries in the world because everywhere is slightly different, but in Sweden they basically put in everything into courses. So in Australia you could choose, I don't know, like 5 completely different subjects. So you could have art and then biology and then woodworks or something. Whereas here you just choose one course, like the music course, and then they've broken that up into smaller segments, like you have the theory in music and the ensemble class and choir and everything. So you basically just choose one area which you would like to completely focus on. And then I think English is compulsory and Swedish is compulsory. Maybe. The school will either choose for you depending on what you've said in your application, or you will get to choose for yourself. Personally, my school chose for me and I was originally placed in the economy course. However, this is a lot of theory work, and whilst I really enjoyed economy back in Australia, when it's in another language it was very hard to follow and I couldn't get involved with the class, which made it very difficult. So I asked to be changed in the music course and they changed me almost immediately, which was really great. I think you should never be worried that you're going to be placed in a course that you're not going to be comfortable in, because the school is 100% there to support you, and if you're not happy with what they've chosen for you, then they're going to do everything they can so that you feel more comfortable here. So the next thing that I've been asked about is the language barrier. All your classes are going to be in the language of your host country, except for English, of course, which will be mostly in English if your school teaches that language. This at first might be quite of a shock, and you might be sitting in class like, I really have no idea what's going on. But don't let that dishearten you, because when you get a few months into your exchange and you look back at how much you've actually learned since that first day, it's really exciting to see, like, wow, you pick it up really quickly and then you can get involved so much more with the class, and it's so exciting when you're listening to a conversation and you think, what? I understood that. Huh. So don't worry so much about the language barrier. With exams and assignments, I've only participated in one exam so far, and that was with my beginner Swedish class, so it was nothing ridiculously hard. It was for my standard of Swedish, and it was just going over some basic grammar. Assignments, often the teacher will try and give you a simplified version of the assignment so that you can still get involved with the class without it being impossible. Like in my history class, they're all doing the history of food. Obviously they're doing it all in Swedish, but the teacher is letting me do it in English so that I can still get involved with the class without just feeling awkward, like I don't know what I'm meant to be doing here. And then, but yeah, it's going to change depending on your teachers. Like when I was in economy, my English teacher wanted me to do the assignment, and because she thought, yeah, it's within my capabilities, so I should get involved. Whereas my music teacher, she felt like, well, obviously I know the language, so it's a waste of time for me to do another assignment on it. And so I usually spend the time either helping out the other students with their English, or I'll work on Swedish. Another question is, will there be other exchange students at my school? So this will depend on where you're actually heading off to. Since I'm in a rather small town, I have no other Rotary Youth Exchange students with me. However, there are another 2 exchange students with a different company at my school, and we get along really well and hang out a fair bit. I've also got my closest Rotary Youth Exchange friend is about an hour's bus drive from me. Overall, it's not so bad. We get to meet up a fair bit, but I would say most of people will actually be a lot closer to other Rotary Youth Exchange students. I'm just so far away from people because I've gone to a much smaller town. Particularly in Sweden, I'd say most people go to Stockholm, and so then you have exchange students basically everywhere. Don't be concerned about, being sent to a small town. This just means you get to spend more time with the locals, learn more of the language, and really just get involved with your exchange. I would say even if you do have a lot of exchange students in your town or city or wherever you go, it is also nice to make sure you don't spend all your time with them, as it is really important that you actually learn the new culture and the new language and everything else about the town that you're in. Otherwise, you're losing a big part of your exchange. Anyway, so that's mostly what I have to say about school in Sweden, or school on exchange in general. These things might change depending on where you head off to, but I hope this helps you out, and I hope that you choose to go on exchange. Thank you. Hej då. Bye bye.